So, Air Hostess. During that bass intro, it shows them skipping the queue out of a plane.
Oh, they're just being dicks, aren't they?
Like dickheads.
Like Charlie jumps over the barrier. James and Matt just jump down.
And one thing that Charlie's doing as well as he jumps the barrier is he's holding a guitar case which is clearly too big to be cabin luggage. I don't know how he got that cleared, but he was either taking up loads of space in the overhead storage,
Look, Carlisle,
like a dickhead.
You wouldn't know this because you're not a global superstar. When you're busted, you can just take all your luggage as hand luggage. Otherwise, how would they do a concert on the plane?
Exactly, which they do. They see two air hostesses and one of them winks at them while they drive off on their little golf cart. This sort of stuns the boys into horny silence, and they decide to abandon their belongings and run after these two strange women that they don't know. Just abandon their stuff. They sneak onto a different plane without their things. So where do they get the guitars?
Aerosmith were also on that plane.
They run after these two women while singing Walking Through the Terminal for added irony.
Yeah.
So they see these air hostesses that they are horny for on another plane, and they decide that they need to illegally enter it.
But the air hostesses have the door open. Pretty sure it's not allowed.
Not something that happens, no.
No matter how sexy you see that boys are.
So hazardous. They manage to get in this golf cart, which I imagine has a very weak engine compared to, say, a Concorde plane. But they catch up with a taking off Concorde plane in their little golf buggy, hundreds of miles per hour. I can only assume. They grab onto the wheels and they get into the plane somehow. How do they get into the plane?
No idea.
Fair enough.
I've seen enough films and been on enough planes to know that the wheels do not just come up into the main...
You just get crushed. So Matt sits down and one of the air hostesses starts putting on his seatbelt for him for some reason. So she's leaning over him so that he can be pressed up against her cleavage, and we get a shot of Matt being like, whoa. Man.
Boobs.
Oh, we see Matt throwing his peanuts down the aisle like a cunt.
Yes.
Just going to put that out there.
Why would that make her smile? It's just being rude.
It's just being a fucker. She's probably going to have to clean it up.
I know. Unless she's smiling because she knows that, Brenda is on, clean-up duty today, and she fucking hates Brenda.
In the song, they say, "You whisper in my ear the words that I want to hear," and that is, "I want you to thrill me here." But in the music video, she says it over the PA. The man sitting next to Matt spits his water out upon this... What is... just a weird thing to say. It's not necessarily raunchy.
The man sitting next to Matt is my highlight of this whole music video. Then we get the paparazzis lurking, and it just shows two paparazzi guys walking down the plane.
Just running down the plane.
How did they get on?
Yeah, did they
Busted
also
aren't supposed to be on the plane. Why have they got their stuff with them?
So the boys are now standing up in the middle of the plane and playing the song on guitars, which canonically I think we've decided they've stolen from Aerosmith.
Yeah. We have Matt going over to the guy reading a paper and getting right in his face, and he has no reaction. It's great. He's proper air hostess, and the guy's like, "I'm trying to learn about business." That's not why you read a newspaper.
I think you nailed it. That's exactly how people read newspapers. For no apparent reason, the plane spins around in the air, and the boys standing up are entirely unaffected.
Yeah. You think oxygen mask fall down, but it's actually headphones.
Yeah, earphones drop down instead of oxygen bags, and the song is interrupted so that we can hear the rest of the passengers listening to what is essentially elevator music.
We need to save the passengers.
We need emergency elevator music. The fucking weird thing is, it works because the passengers take the elevator music with such bliss.
Oh yeah, they're loving it.
All planes should come equipped with emergency elevator music.
Yeah, just in case
Busted start playing with their unplugged in fucking... Because even if you love Busted, that'd be annoying. You can't hear the guitars, you can only hear... Na, 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 na,
and even then, they'd have to be screaming because planes are loud. Genuinely, this music video just made me happy. It's quite like a wholesome... nice music video, considering the song is just about wanting to fucking air hostess.
Is it that nice? I would argue this isn't a very wholesome video because they flout international security laws and trying to basically fuck a woman they've never seen based on nothing more than a wink. That is not a good
Oh.
message to be sending people. They cut back, and Charlie is singing the third verse into the PA, but no one minds because they've all got those headphones on. This is probably the worst part. When he sings So Hot I Can't Stop Staring, we get a proper creep shot of the bottom of her very short miniskirt walking by.
It's proper like Wonder Woman in Justice League style. It's not good.
Not a fan. Not a fan at all. As the plane lands, they're in their seats and they've been sleeping, and the landing wakes them up. So I don't know if this is implying that this was all a dream, but we find out that this wasn't all a dream
Because
immediately after. Because the police get on board.
and they then climb out the wheel.
Yeah, they run back to a hatch at the end where they can get down to what is apparently the wheel structure. So they climb back out via the wheels somehow, and they jump and roll and just brush it off. And again, they would have been going hundreds of miles an hour.
And then once again, the woman opens the door in what I'm pretty sure is the same exact shot from the beginning of the video, and just waves at them again, which the plane hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah.
Another plane comes in and they're like, oh no, which planes do not land that close to each other. That would just cause a crash.
Yeah. But then they just run off into the distance. It's
Yes.
like, do they even know where they are? Are they just stranded in a in a foreign country now?